Pledge allegiance, please. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Before we get started, I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank the citizens of Port Huron for your outpouring of prayers and love in the recent tragedy that we had in our city with the father and the young man and everything. You guys just showed out, and those listening, we want to thank you. You gave from the heart your prayers and your monies, and you didn't think whether it was a penny to 100, whatever it was, it all came together. And I was so happy to see that take place in a community such as ours, where we came together and we made a difference in the lives of the people that were, got caught up in that whole scene. So thank you so much for all that. And then I also would like to thank B-Rock and a lot of other people. I think it's 9/11, that weekend of 9/11, so much was happening here in our city. You know how we always complain about there's nothing to do, but yes, there was something to do. I mean, we were at Pine Grove Park, we were at the soup kitchen, B-Rock was at doing their thing at Pine Grove Park, and we had the international, people were really, Port Huron has been alive all this summer. Not just the heat. We've been out there taking advantage of all the good things that have happened. I know we hear a lot of things, bad things when we come in here, but, life is good. You just have to be out there and become a part of it and get engaged, with one another and making sure our city is what we make it, because it's the people that makes the difference. So I just wanted to thank everybody. Now we will proceed with the roll call, please.
Councilmember Archibald?
Here.
Councilmember Haremza?
Here.
Councilmember Lamb?
Here.
Councilmember Mosrak?
Here.
Councilmember Payton?
Here.
Councilmember Pemberton?
Here.
Mayor Ashford?
Present. Members, you have before you minutes of the regular council meeting of September the 8th. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Moved by Mayor Pro Tem Archibald and supported by Councilmember Pemberton. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. Vote.
Councilmember Archibald?
Yes.
Councilmember Haremza?
Yes.
Councilmember Lamb?
Yes.
Councilmember Mosrak?
Yes.
Councilmember Payton?
Yes.
Councilmember Pemberton?
Yes.
Mayor Ashford?
Yes. Next we have on our agenda, this is a time for public comment. If anyone in the audience wishes to address the City Council on any agenda item or any matter under this city's jurisdiction, now is the time to do so. You are allotted 1 4-minute opportunity to make your comments. Please begin by citing your name and address so we can have that for the record. Welcome, Mr. Rupp.
Julian Rupp, Polly's Place. On September 11th, I got an email from the city telling me that the city was terminating the lease for my location at Polly's Place on the south end. No discussion, no warning, no vote with the community, no public conversation, just it's being terminated. So I got on social media like, can you believe this nonsense? A year and a half into a 10-year agreement. After a year and a half of hindrance into that agreement as well. We never got a water hookup. Gardens kind of need that. So, year and a half in, it's canceled. And so as I get on social media, I send some to the council members. What is this? Email to all of you. Seemingly you guys didn't get that email, some of you. And then I get an email response from James Freed saying, hey, we got to deal with a developer, 9 single-family houses, kind of almost implying I'm leaving 9 families out in the cold, my 3 lots, and we'll figure something out. Now, our goal has always been to be a learning facility, the garden being a place where people have an app, they can go around, play games, learn about gardening, and even have virtual gardening experience, so they can get this learning in real time. I have an app developer and a friend who does AI professionally, and we've been working on this for a couple years, developing concepts around this. And so that was the plan always anyway. And it was like, so at a certain point, it's like, man, the city keeps forcing me to move. The former mayor yelled in my face, Port Huron doesn't want to garden. Don Egypt told me we shouldn't garden in the city when he first cited me. Like, what do I do? Then it occurred to me, well, let's just lean into the app. Let's make a virtual gardening space of the whole city. Go to the cloud with it all. You know, you have in front of you some imagery of St. Paul's Lutheran. And that's kind of conventional gardening. That's what you're used to seeing. Look at the next page. Those look really nice, right? Those are no-till permaculture gardens. Golly, wouldn't it be great if you knew someone who knew how to do that? Actually, I installed all three of those. One in Kentucky, one is the original Polly's place, and the third one is in Northern California. I installed a few winters ago. You do know somebody who knows how to do that. Permaculture food forests produce a great deal more food for less labor. Now turn to the last page in my last minute. That's Polly's place as is, right now, today. Took those photos today. It's about a year and a half into a 10-year agreement. It's about 15% developed, okay? Now you turn back, you see what I've done completed, and you look and see, okay, well, he's heading there. It's getting there. So we currently have an agreement that I shook hands with Preet and Cynthia on, that the city's gonna buy the shed from me, and then I gotta figure something out from there. That is the least acceptable thing to me. It gives no value or appreciation for 6 years of hard labor, 5.5 years of hard labor, everything we've done in this community. I would encourage you as council members to maybe consider what else you can do to help us, because we sure could use it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rupp.
I'm Claudia Smith. I live at 2625 Wright Street, right across from the Dunn Paper property. So I wanted to say that we support the change in the zoning to PUD. That's more in line with what we're interested in seeing happen there. We are against any heavy industrial use on that property, or any possibility of gravel trucks running all day long through the neighborhood. We would like to possibly see a low-level residential use, because we're right across the street and we'll have a view of the river. We would like that. I have some questions, and I don't expect answers, but would the material come in by ship for them, for the use that Crown has for this property? And then everything would leave by train or by truck? Because that would be a pretty polluting, noisy kind of operation. So that would be one thing. Why did the demo on the property all of a sudden just stop when, you know, I don't know what the reason for that was? And if they were to succeed in getting a permit for this kind of use that they're thinking of, when would they start demo again, I guess? I think that's really all of my questions, so thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good evening, Mayor, City Manager, City Council members. Ken Harris, 1521 Wells Street, Portland, Michigan. Little update on what's going on in our side of the city. Lapeer Road, 8 days now since it was supposed to be start pouring concrete out there. Nothing's happened on Lapeer Avenue. Indirectly, we've had 2 accidents which have totaled 2 automobiles of people trying to get home by staying off of Lapeer Avenue, taking the back roads. I don't see much police enforcement. I think it's something that we really need to look at. And while we're looking at things that need attention, everybody thinks, you know, if you lived in a privileged area, Port Huron, you get special delivery service. Well, it's not quite that good. If you go up to 4350 Gratiot Avenue and see how bad the street is up there, that's on the lake shore, people. And it's a damn hole in the road. And it's in the northbound lane, which belongs to the city of Port Huron. Water Street, 13th Street to 10th Street, is not a very good welcome to anybody that comes into the city of Port Huron. I use it frequently, and you try to dodge it as much as you can, but 13th Street Water Street from 13th to 10th should be off limits. In fact, the 7 guys that were putting the slowdown strips in Pine Grove Park today would have done a lot better job if they'd done it on Water Street. Let's slow the traffic down so we can do something. I guess one of the things that's still looked at, the CAFR funds is on the agenda tonight. And I looked back at some of them, and you look in here in the CAFR funds, out of the $41,000 for the blight officers and stuff, they only spent $14,000 left. So we have almost $30,000 left over, and they don't seem to have any place where it's going to go. But talking about that, when we're looking about this money and stuff, is I went back to another page where we handed out all this money during COVID, $5,000 to, I think it was like 20-some businesses. And I bet you a third of those aren't even in business anymore. So we got to be a little bit wiser where we give our money away. The other thing that I think that we should really look at is everybody got one of these in the mail the other day, and I'm just trying to wonder where the city's trying to go with our thing and stuff. It says it's an annual notice to occupant, your water service line material is unknown. And I don't know, the same day in almost the same envelope, they looked identical, was a service trying to sell me service for my underground water thing. I don't think that's a coincidence, because the city paid first class mail and the others was shipped bulk rate. So it's something that kind of tested what we're going on. And while we're finishing up here, last year, the Wells Street, the Harrison area and stuff like that, we received new streets and everything like that. But sad to know, I do a lot of walking, and I thank God for a little bit of a memory that I still have left. I noticed while they were taking a tree down, it's the contractor and the subcontractor taking a tree down at the corner of 16th and Miller Street, damaged a home and the traffic, the home and their fence. And that was in the middle of the summer. Well, this spring, this lady who owns the house got a ticket for what the subcontractor did, a $200 fine, because the subcontractor and the contractor, Ace Asphalt was the contractor, the subcontractor was Kevin's. And I don't know what the thing's going to do. I went up and tried to talk to the planning commission, and all I got out of the planning commission is it's over, it's closed. Well, it was just closed. Tell me what happened. They wouldn't tell me nothing. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Harris. Is there anyone else in the audience? Thank you.
All right, I am Bishop Kim Brown, and I am back today.
It's all right, glad to have you.
And I want to say that often we come at times and give our concerns and express our voice in things that may not go well. But I do want to say today that I am here on the behalf of SCORE, on the behalf of others that had an opportunity to attend the meeting. I came the last time and I expressed that I just wanted to gain more understanding about what was going to be going on in the Southside Reinvestment Center. And I was glad on that Thursday that our city manager did come, and he and Cynthia made a presentation And in that presentation gave us an opportunity in the NIA to ask some questions and get some understanding. And as a result of that, for them also to be able to hear the voices of the people in the community. And I am here, especially on the behalf of SCORE, to thank you for the opportunity to be able to bring our wonderful program that we've had the opportunity to service in that area, but not just that area, but the city of Port Huron, and that is to bring youth programs to the to that particular office and that particular building. And it is my prayer that we can continue to hear the voices of the people in the community and what they need and work together to accomplish common goals. So I did want to say that in support of this, and I'm sure that a lot of this will be explained even as we go on, and more clarity will be given. So thank you very much on the behalf of.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Kurt Kramer, president of SC4 and resident of Fort Gratiot. Periodically, I'll come and bring greetings from SC4 to express our appreciation for the city and the city council. Our enrollment this fall is up almost 20% over last year.
Good.
We are on a growth trajectory and a higher service of commitment to be present for the residents and the people. Our growth is based on data and is attributable to many variables, not just one initiative. It is the combination of effort that yields results. We enjoy a collaborative and supportive environment with the city. We count the city and college work as a combination that makes a difference for students and residents to ensure the strength of the college, our college, with the our as all of us. Thank you. We are working on an update to our facility plan and visioning out through the next 20 years. Our inspiration and encouragement is to envision what the college can be and what is possible is in union with the city, the people of the area, and what we can accomplish together. Tonight on the agenda is a resolution to work together to bring energy and vibrancy through a joint project for our residents. The project intent is to develop more intentional connections between the campus and the city, making us more walkable, safer for people walking, and connected through spaces that blend naturally and are also functional. We are ready to deliver on our commitment, our vision, and our growth, and appreciate the city of Port Huron as a key participant in the journey for our shared constituents, the residents of Port Huron. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Peter. Is there anyone else in the audience wishing to address the council?
Brian Farquhar, 19th Avenue, the city of Port Huron. I was pretty blunt in everything the last council meeting, so I'm going to try to take it easy on everybody tonight. Starting with Mr. Mosrak here, thank you for your gift that you gave my wife. I misread it and I chewed her a thing because I thought it said something else and is hanging on our front door of our home. But it is on the front door of our home, so thank you. The one thing that I don't know if some of, I know at least one of you have seen this and found some humor in it, and it's the Ask Port Huron AI feature that we've added to our city government page. AI is very good, but it can be very bad at the same time. So we might want to rethink this, okay? And these are some of the questions that a resident asked to the AI on our Port Huron thing. And it's, why do so many people park in Gratiot Avenue bike lanes? Okay, and this is the response from our city of Port Huron. Lack of awareness. Drivers may not be aware that they are parking in designated bike lane, especially if signage is unclear and not visible. That's an issue throughout the whole city of Port Huron. Signage is unclear and things aren't visible. You take in the painting at Pine Grove and Hancock, right there at the gas stations. If you're coming out of my neighborhood and you're going towards the lake, it's been painted 15 times in the last 3 years and nobody knows what to do there. It should be 4 lanes. It's really down to 2. People use it as 3, and there's constant accidents there all the time, okay? There is no proper markage that those are bike lanes on Gratiot Avenue, and I think people don't genuinely know that. At the end of the day, the only way to teach people that, unfortunately, is enforcement, okay? And that means people are gonna have to be ticketed, all right? Anywhere else I go, I park my car in the wrong place in Detroit, I get a ticket. I park my car in the wrong place in Royal Oak, I get a ticket. I could probably park my car on the grass out here and come in for the city council meeting, and until tonight, I wouldn't get out a ticket, okay? So it's one of those things, and I know the one woman comes in all the time, and she complains about the marking, painting not being, for the school zones and stuff on the south end. I've driven around, did a little research, that's everywhere. It's on the north end. Crawl School, there is no crosswalk paintings anywhere near the school there. They're all disintegrated, gone. You go Holland Woods Middle School, dropping off my daughter the other day. There's kids trying to cross the road right there at all kinds of different points because there's no clearly marked area. And that's a 45-mile-an-hour road, 40-mile-an-hour road. It's dark. It's not very well lit. We're only asking for problems here. So we need to fix something. And whether that's the city putting in a dedicated crosswalk with a button for the kids, whether it's, the rest of it. Another question that was asked is why do young people leave the city of Port Huron? And connectivity was a big one. And that brings back to the bike lanes, the signage, that kind of stuff. It's very hard to get from the north end of Port Huron to the south end of Port Huron without a car. If you were to physically just try to walk and try to find your way without the rest of it, you go to New York City, you find your way around pretty easy. I went from the Bronx, the Queens, the Manhattan, to the rest of it, my first time ever there, and it's just follow the signs. It's easy.
Thank you. Your
I'd like that
time is up.
fixed. Thank you.
Is there anyone else here wishing to address the council?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Pete Lacey, resident of Birchville, Senior Vice President, Chief Partnership Officer at SC4. I simply want to just offer some information here. I work with a lot of different partners. They come to our community and they have an outstanding experience. And I thank all of you for your leadership and the things that you've done. Some examples here. So in a couple weeks, we're hosting the Wolverine Invitational. That's with the University of Michigan. This will be the 5th year of this tournament. Wheelchair basketball tournament. Accessibility of our community is outstanding, and the welcomeness of our community. They have chose to come back here all of these years, and we have 12 teams from across America, including the University of Arizona, University of Eastern Washington, and teams in Canada that are coming to our community because they appreciate what we have here. The Thumb Coast Tip-Off, we're going to host last year was a women's tournament, the best 8 teams in America coming to Port Huron. This year we've also added a men's tournament. That'll be in November. This is not a hard sell to tell teams, hey, would you like to come to SC4, to Port Huron to play in this elite level tournament? So thank you for that. The last thing I'll mention is just STEM Fest. That's something that we started 3 years ago to really engage the community with science, technology, engineering, and math. We weren't sure how that was going to go. We had about 3,000 people year 1, 5,000 year 2, 7,000 year 3. These people came from all over the state of Michigan and Canada, and they said, wow, I didn't know about this place. This is outstanding. And they choose to return. And I think that's the biggest thing that I give you kudos for, and I think we all should be proud of. I had a call earlier this summer from the coach at the University of Michigan who said, she brought her family here, and she said, we're going on vacation to Port Huron. Where do we go? What do we see? How do we do this? And that's heartwarming to me. It's rewarding that the places that I get to work with, they love to come back here. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. Is there anyone else in the audience wishing to address the council this evening?
Mayor Ashford, council, city members, it's James Freed. I'm just wondering about jobs here in the city of Port Huron. This is my second council meeting I've been to. There's a lot of homeless and things like that. And in the last meeting, there was a man talking about building homes he's going to build a thing down there by River District. Okay, so that's going to be more families and that. What are we doing for jobs? There are some pretty nice parcels in the industrial park that are empty. Is there any way that we're promoting the city of Port Huron and trying to get in employers, new employers to Port Huron?
We don't go back and forth at this time, but the city manager will address that.
Okay, well, like I said, this is new to me, so I'm just asking,
Yes.
is this, you know,
Yeah, and we'll address it, but we
Okay.
just want to hear from you.
okay, and I'm just wondering if there's any, you know, if any input from anybody, or can we start town hall meetings and try to promote the city of Port Huron better? And have everybody involved, because I never was able to come here, I never thought about coming here. This old trash clown, you've actually, she's like, you need to get involved, so this is my step. You'll see more of me, I'm gonna probably ask questions, not ask them the right way, I don't know. I'll learn this system, just like,
No, you're doing fine.
so, but that's just a few questions that I have.
Okay, and can you tell us your name and your
Oh, I'm
address?
sorry, it's Betty Hall, I live at 2107 Stone Street.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Hall.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, is that it?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. You did very well.
Thank you.
Okay, is there anybody else, Bishop?
Hi, I've spoken a couple of times, but Terry Baum at 2704 Wright Street, and I returned from Ann Arbor after many years, and I moved back here in 90, I believe it was. Bought my house in 97, so I've been across from the factory for 28 years. And I've watched over all these years the progress of this town, and very happily, because it's just coming along so great. The bike lanes, the kayak launches, the music downtown, there's just so many things that make it such a great place. But of course, our big draw is the water, and also a reason I'll probably never return to Ann Arbor. As much as I loved it, I don't want to be landlocked again. I love the water. And I spoke before, but I just want to put it on record again, that I am opposed to any use of that done paper land for anything industrial, especially what they said, the aggregate facility. I know you approved the PUD thing from the Planning Commission, and I know there's a second reading tonight. So I just want to say again, I strongly support that, and I think that you do have a vision for the city, because I see it everywhere all the time, and I'm happy to be living here. But please don't let that happen. I know you're facing lawsuits. I don't know how you're going to do that, because they're like a multi-billion-dollar corporation, and I'm sure they have teams of lawyers, but I have to have faith that it's going to happen. I just do. That's all.
We're going to think about David and Goliath. All right. Is there anybody else here wishing to address the council?
Good evening, Curtis Carl, Port Huron Township. Ken's right, Water Street from 13th to 10th, that's a hot mess. I'm not sure if you guys have been over where Miller Pipeline's been doing some work over Bancroft, 13th area. They cut out these sections of your road and they put them right back like nothing ever happened. You might want to get a hold of them people to go cut some of that crap out on Water Street. 13th Street from Lapeer to Oak. Oh boy, that's another great one. Now that 16th Street's blocked off, I gotta take that to work. Really don't care to take that road. Kearney Street between 10th and Stone. When are we getting on that, James? We gotta get that going. I know that was on slated to get started this year. It's getting fall time. I know you gotta do all the work underneath with the sewer separation. You're gonna kill two birds with one stone. But my wife's driving over that every day, along with Water Street, and it's messing up her cars. I just can't stress this enough. Can we get the trees trimmed at the Water Street boat ramp on the west side? I paid my money to park my truck there, and I gotta park in the jungle when them are the only spots left. Please get the trees trimmed. Botsford Street. The Taylor Street apartments have been there for quite some time. And you gotta realize a lot of people walk to those apartments from 24th Street. Where are the sidewalks? How come there's a sidewalk that starts, then it stops, then it starts again, then it stops? Now on the other side it starts and stopped and never restarted. I just don't get it. And I'm dodging people walking on Botsford. They walk that street daily. They walk to the dollar store. They walk to the grocery store. I know it ain't gonna get fixed anytime soon, but why is it like that? Why, I just don't understand why the sidewalks aren't there. And got a glass of tap water. You know, I'm in a township, but it comes from our city of Port Huron. I got a glass one night. I usually drink it out of the refrigerator. Got it out of my bathroom faucet. Oh my God, the amount of chlorine, I might as well just drink out of my pool. I'm sure it's within your legal levels of whatever you're pumping into that water. I could give a shit about the fluoride. This chlorine is off the hook. Go to Marysville, have a glass of water down to Linwood or China Light or anywhere. Water's good. Doesn't taste like our water. I don't know. There's a few things that I got. That's about it for today.
Thank you very much, Mr. Carl. Is there anyone else that'd like to address us?
My name is Alan Skinner. I live on Stone Street in Port Huron, probably 35 years. I thank the council, the mayor, and the city manager. I have a few issues I would like to mention or discuss. South Park. I have written in my notes recommend, but I can't recommend. I would suggest that in the planning and the organizing that there be a parcel of land located within a 15-mile or 15-minute walk ride of the new city center, city council community center on 24th for a full-line grocery store. These people need, without car transportation, a place to buy groceries. I've seen industrial parks nearby that area in other parts of the country revitalize the warehouse space, things into a full-line grocery store. Maybe stores like a Costco or whatever. There's several franchises, as long as they maybe didn't compete with the area. I don't know about that. I'm not an urban planner. It should have essential services within a 15-minute walk or bicycle ride of that as you develop the South Park area with that community center. Traffic on Stone Street. I would like to see, because I live on Stone Street, I would like to see some kind of speed and noise abatement on that street, traffic control from Garfield North. It's getting worse and worse and worse. Loud mufflers, squealing tires, fast speed, so forth and so on. I don't know what could be done. I've seen traffic monitors on the street. I don't know how good they are. The issues with Dunn Paper Company. I'm beating a dead horse, I'm afraid. But had the revised 5-year plan of the city been done in a timely manner, maybe that area would not be classified or zoned as an industrial area ahead of time, ahead of the proposals being made to use it as an industrial area, because it would not have been zoned or made available as an industrial area. So that's what I have on my mind tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else in the audience that would like to come forth at this time?
Good evening. My name is Ignacio Balsamo, president of Oakwood Building Company, Macomb County resident. I was the contractor over at 515 River Street that started the project and had to stop for a very specific reason that I think everyone here is familiar with. I don't believe that everyone here is aware of all the details. I don't know if this is the proper venue to to litigate this concern. So please feel free to stop me at any time and advise me a better route. But I patiently waited approximately 7 weeks, give or take a week or two, to find out the determination for the correct disposal site for the specific waste that was in question at the site. After these 7 weeks, I was accused of ghosting the individuals in charge of the project, and was sent a letter advising me that I was no longer able to finish a job, that they were going to award it to another contractor. I don't recall, first of all, that the remainder of the job ever went out for public bid. Second, I was never informed of the updated dump site for the materials, and I was never given the opportunity to even complete the job. My company and I are more than capable and willing to complete the job if given the opportunity, but it doesn't seem like, from the individuals that I've spoken to, that they're willing to do that. I mean, is everyone here aware of exactly what's going on at that site?
Mr. Berlin, we don't go
Okay,
back and
sorry.
forth. You just state your case.
And that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I mean, it's a lot more involved in that, but I don't think I can present everything in the 4 minutes available here. Thank you.
All right, thank you for addressing us tonight. Is there anyone else in the audience that wish to come before the council?
Hi, did you miss me? You know who I be. I'm Trash the Clown. I don't know what I'm going to say yet, so, okay. One, I want to say thank you. I'm proud of you all. I have not read any new news articles about any hissy fits, so.
Excuse me, class,
Thank you.
hold it.
You can't clap. Anyways,
Okay,
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you
No,
for that.
You're all right. Come on.
I'm okay. So thank you for that. This is the question. Why wait? And I think this is all encompassing for a lot of different things. So the done thing, why are we waiting until now to try to do the rezoning when there was 15 months that the property was for sale? Why did we wait for something horrific to happen like that happened this last week with that family? Why are we waiting when we could have a mental health person within the police department? We could have a specific line for mental health that our community could call in times of need. Why wait? Why wait for a pedestrian to get hit when we could build sidewalks where there's not sidewalks, where we could put streetlights where there's not streetlights? Why are we waiting? I think it's best to be proactive and to be thinking about what can be done before it even happens, so that tragedies don't happen, so that we don't lose lives, so that there isn't blood on our roads, so there isn't blood in our streets or in our homes. We have to be thinking proactively, not waiting for something to happen. It's very clear that there's issues within our city, and I think especially when it comes to pedestrians and people that aren't in cars or on boats. I think that the cars and boats get a higher level than the people that actually live here, the people that are actually spending the money in the community, the people that are actually part of the community. We need to do better, I think. I think it's pretty obvious that we need to do better. I think that there's way too many news articles about our city, about harm when it could be good, when you have the opportunity to think outside of the box. There's 250 employees in the city. Why isn't part of their job to do some community service every week? If 250 people that get paid by the city put in 1 hour a week, just 1 hour, that's 250 hours of community service done. Why wait? We have to be proactive, and that should be your job sitting up there on the council, not just having these awkward meetings where people come up here and talk to and there's no conversation, and it's like going to the principal's office, but you don't even get scolded unless you make people clap. So I just think that we need to spend less time thinking about things like pocket parks or entertainment when there are real things happening in our community that actually affect the citizens. I know a lot of you live north of the bridge, but south of the bridge we need some help. We need streetlights, we need sidewalks, we need trash cans throughout the city, throughout the neighborhoods, not just downtown. Most people don't live downtown, they live in the neighborhoods. What are you doing? What are you thinking? Where are you putting your time, your effort, and your money? Where are we writing grants for when we could be putting all that energy into the things that actually affect the lives of the citizens? Why wait? Why wait for a clown to come up and say, hey, your job, and I'm assuming this is why you sit there, because you really wanted to help your community.
Time is up, thank you. Okay, is there anyone else that we missed that would like to address the council this evening? Okay. Hearing and seeing none, and we're closed, and I'd like to thank everyone who came forth, and the city manager will be addressing some of those issues during his time that is coming up next. So, E from the city manager. City manager's report.
Yeah, Madam Mayor and Council, just an update from Water Street from 13th to Stone. As you all know, you approved an $800,000 project a few months ago. That's under designs. Water Street will be ripped up and reconstructed from 13th to 10th in the spring. There's a road that's been in much needed attention. We'll also work on doing some replacements from the 10th Street Bridge past Lapeer as well. There's some plate replacements there that need to be done as well. You will be getting a water service letter in the mail. What it means is we don't know if you have a lead service line. We are physically digging up thousands of lines across the city we go out there with a vac truck, they vacuum down, and they physically look at your water line to see is it copper, is it lead, is it some other material. We are required under state regulations now from Eagle after the whole Flint crisis to go through and canvass all of the residents to help us identify lead service lines. That information is to help us identify lead service lines throughout the cities so that we can get them replaced. So we do appreciate people's help looking at their line. If they could just send us a letter letting us know what kind of water line they have, or we can come out and help them, that's what that letter is for. I do appreciate the question on the jobs. It's a very profound question. In the last 10 years, we've had about $850 million of new investment in the city. About 3,750 new jobs have been created in the city of Port Huron. We used to chase jobs, now we chase workers. The biggest issue we have right now is worker shortage. Whether it's skilled trades or it's in our advanced manufacturing plant, we have a worker shortage. Right now we have about 300 jobs available in our industrial park that are going unfilled. That's a huge issue. There's a huge disconnect when you have a homeless population and jobs available. And so we have a mental health crisis in Michigan and in the country right now. And so we are working, the Port Huron Police Department has an innovative program now where we have a mental health representative from community mental health, a social worker embedded with our police officers. A large chunk of police calls are not criminal. They're mental health issues that a social worker could help with. And so we have social workers embedded responding to calls with our police officers. It was a horrific accident, or horrific incident, what happened in the last couple of weeks. I appreciate the mayor bringing light to that. The crisis hotline is 988. You can call or text any time of day. If you have feelings of suicide or self-harm, call the crisis hotline. We have one up and running. There are people here who are willing to help you and talk to you. So again, the crisis hotline is 988. You could call or text anytime and get that message out there. We do, back to the jobs, we are working with developers right now. We have about 250,000 square foot manufacturing buildings that are slated for the vacant property on Dove Street. There's an 8-acre parcel, and there's also a 19-acre parcel. We have a purchase agreement with one developer who wants to build and then lease it to a Tier 1 supplier that will create additional jobs. But again, we need to fill the jobs that we have. The CEOs, when I travel to meet with the CEOs of these large companies, they say, James, you want us to build a $200,000 square foot plant, but we have 76 jobs at this plant we can't fill. And so we really need to help get those jobs filled. I think that is about it. Yeah, I think that's about it.
And why didn't we buy the Dunn paper?
Why did we buy
The
it?
Dunn, why didn't we take the opportunity to buy it?
Because rezoning takes lots of deliberations. The Dunn paper site is not the only site we're looking at rezoning. We're looking at rezoning the Chicory site, the Presserlight site, and also the 16th Street property that's currently vacant. So when we go to rezone a property, there's a lot of time and deliberation that goes into it. That plant has been non-operational. Also, Dunn has not submitted, all that time, has not submitted any type of site plan or formal request for anything until we initiated the zoning change. So that is why we waited.
Okay, and I think Kearney Street, that is on the docket.
Yep, it's getting
for
done.
us. It's getting, yeah.
Yep.
We had that, okay.
Yep, it'll be done.
Okay.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, is that it for you, Jen?
Yep.
Okay, great. Okay, now we are at our consent agenda. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Okay, moved by Mayor Pro Tem Archibald, supported by Councilmember Mosrak. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I will proceed to, yeah, sorry about that. Take the vote. Okay.
Councilmember Haremza?
Yes.
Councilmember Lamb?
Yes.
Councilmember Mosrak?
Yes.
Councilmember Peyton?
Yes.
Councilmember Pemberton?
Yes.
Councilmember Archibald?
Yes.
Mayor Ashford?
Yes. We have two items under resolutions. We have confirming and approving single lot assessments for a large brush and branch pickup in the right-of-way. It's resolution number 5. Resolution number 6, confirming and approving single lot special assessments for fines, assessments, and/or the cost of removing blight, blighting factors, and/or causes of blight, as well as the abatement of nuisances. And under ordinance, we have 2. Ordinance number 1 is the second reading and enactment as an ordinance to amend Chapter 52 of the zoning, Article 3, District Regulations, Division 1, generally Section 52-162 map of the Port Huron Code of Ordinance to rezone the properties generally described as 218 Riverview Street and 2601 Omar Street from an M1 zoning district, light industrial district, to a planned unit development zoning district known as PUD, and 2530, 2520, 2500 vacant lots on Wright Street from an R1 zoning district, single and two-family residential district, to a planned unit development zoning district, PUD. Ordinance number 2, second reading and enactment, an ordinance to amend Chapter 16, Community Development, Article 4, Housing Development for Low-Income Persons of the Port Huron Code of Ordinance to provide for a service charge in lieu of taxes for a housing project for low-income persons and families, known as Robbins Crest, to be financed with a federally aided mortgage loan pursuant to the provisions of the State Housing Development Authority Act of 1966, 1966 Public Act 346 as amended by MCL 125-1401. And that is the act, and that is your consent agenda. And now we will move forward to, from the city manager.
Accepting the bid from Ainsworth Electric Incorporated in the amount of $967,730 for the control panel upgrades at the water filtration plant.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Support?
Moved by Mayor Pro Tem Archibald and supported by Councilmember Lamb. Is there any discussion on it?
Mayor Ashford?
Yes.
James, do we know why any of those attending did not submit the bids? Did we get
This
any
happens
feedback?
quite often. They're not interested in the project. It's more than they can handle or something like that. Mayor Pro Tem Briggs, you need to come to the pre-bid meeting to walk through the facility, talk with the engineers, and really understand the projects. We have accurate bids. We only received one bid, and that was from Ainsworth Electric. It's about $217,000 over our budget. The project has to be done. Ainsworth currently works in the facility. They know the facility well and are very capable of doing the project. So they are capable, but that happens quite often. People come to the pre-bid meeting, they realize maybe this is more than they can chew, and don't bid on it. We are seeing that across the board. If you look at some of our road projects, we're seeing the same one or two companies bid. And so we are trying to solicit when we have bids now. So we call firms and let them know to be interested. I personally talked to two people who work at do big road projects and said, hey, please consider bidding with us. So to help advertise our bids a little bit better to get more respondents. Because competition, as we know, drives down cost.
Did I answer your question, Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, okay. And then also, I think, to note that the same firm, they're used to this, they're experienced.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
they're very capable.
So that makes a difference, okay. Thank you. Okay. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Lamb?
Yes.
Councilmember Mosrak?
Yes.
Councilmember Payton?
Yes.
Councilmember Pemberton?
Yes.
Councilmember Archibald?
Yes.
Councilmember Haremza?
Yes.
Mayor Ashford?
Yes. And that is carried. Now we're down to resolutions. We have two resolutions before us. Is authorizing the submission of the Consolidated Annual Performance Evaluations Report, which we call CAPER, for the 2024 program year to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for their review and approval regarding the use of CDBG funds and home funds.
So that's an item.
So, yeah, right here.
I should have, but that's okay.
Oh, okay. No, I just thought she was just taking a break.
Oh.
She was telling me she should have read it. I thought she was on vacation. So I thought, I'll get it out of here. Okay, is there a motion, resolution number 1?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Pemberton and
Support.
supported by Councilmember Lamb. Any discussion on this?
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
We held our public hearing at the last meeting, which Jasmine gave a presentation, answered questions. This is just formally adopting the document now.
Oh, okay. And also, thank you, City Manager. I have asked Jasmine to come forth and give us an overview of that a little bit, highlight some areas, make the people more knowledgeable of what we're doing up here.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. What you have before you is our CAPER, which is our year-end report that has to be submitted to HUD by the end of next week, September 30th. Highlights of the plan: we perform 2 neighborhood cleanups. We do 1 in spring, 1 in fall, in low to mod or income census tracts. We did 29 housing rehab projects between our exterior program and our elderly repair program, and 7 urban pioneer down payment assistance. There are a couple things I would like to highlight, which we know is a huge cost burden for a lot of families right now. Credit repair and a few other services. So we will be looking to partner with a handful of nonprofits in the community to provide those services to city residents. And in next year's year-end report, you'll see accomplishments for those items.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? And so how does the word gets out to the community? How do they know that we're
looking
have
for
all these services that they can take advantage of?
We will be putting out a request for proposal, which will be posted on the city website. It'll also go out on BidNet, which is a intergovernmental website where bids are posted, and it gives nonprofits the opportunity to submit a proposal from that website. And then we are actually meeting with a handful of nonprofits in 2 weeks to walk through the grant funding, what the expectations would be, and we were able to solicit to nonprofits through the Community Services Coordinating Body. We're heavily involved in that and attend all the meetings. So most of the members are nonprofits, and so we use that to partner with nonprofits.
Okay, so the nonprofits are the vehicles that we.
Yes.
We drive to reach the people, okay?
Correct.
All right. And given the landscape of what we're facing in Washington and all that, and all these cuts and everything, does that have any impact on dollars coming in through home and CDBG?
For 2026, I don't know. We just got our 2025 grant agreement, so funding is secure for at least the next year. The home ARP funds, like I said, we received, I think, 4 years ago, so those are also secure.
Okay, they're secure. Is it enough?
Never enough, especially not with housing
Yeah.
needs. So I will be coming back before you soon for a substantial amendment of about $400,000 that we had originally allocated towards a non-congregate shelter a few years ago with home ARP funds. But unfortunately, we have found that the cost to try and turn any sort of structure into a non-congregate shelter is far beyond $400,000. We'd be looking at millions of dollars. So finding a location and then the rehab of it, it's not sustainable with $400,000. So I talked to the nonprofits, and they felt like the best use of the funds for the community was to move it to supportive services and more rental assistance.
And are there any highlights that you think you need to share with us, or it's pretty much what you said?
Yeah.
What keeps you up at night?
I sleep pretty good, but knowing that there's more funding coming is always a great thing and makes us feel secure. So.
Okay, well, thank you for the beautiful
Thank
job
you.
that you do and you continue to do.
Thank you.
So thank you, and your staff. Okay, so roll call, please.
Councilmember Moseret?
Yes.
Councilmember Peyton?
Yes.
Councilmember Pemberton?
Yes.
Councilmember Archibald?
Yes.
Councilmember Haremza?
Yes.
Councilmember Lamb?
Yes.
Mayor Ashford?
Yes. Resolution number 2, I guess I'll let you read it.
Approving the memorandum of understanding between the City of Port Huron and St. Clair County Community College to transfer ownership of a city-owned parking lot located on the corner of Michigan Street and Bard Street.
At this time, we have Kurt from the SC4 and the manager take over at this point.
We need a motion.
Do you guys have a motion?
Oh, the motion?
Yep.
Okay,
So
the
moved.
So
Support.
moved by Mayor Pro Tem Archibald and supported by Councilmember Pemberton. Any discussion? And here it is standing before us.
There we go. I asked Kurt to come down here in case you have some questions for him as well.
Oh, okay.
So Kurt and I have been meeting numerous times with Pete and the entire SC4 team, very sophisticated people. It is part of the long-term plan. We discuss ideas, things long-term, vision casting, talking about how we can collaborate. And one of the things we talked about is, you have the SC4 student housing here. If you remember when we did the SC4 original student housing, that was a huge question mark. We had never done anything like that at ground level within the city of Port Huron. There was a lot of people who were afraid it was going to be like a party house in the middle of Main Street and college kids. You can't dump a whole thing, a bunch of college kids in the middle of a downtown, it'll be chaos and blah, blah, blah. Since that facility has opened, the only emergency response calls we get there is when somebody has the popcorn in the microwave too long. The SC4 students have been just such a terrific asset to downtown Port Huron. A lot of them work at local businesses, and there's just something nice about walking through your downtown and seeing young people everywhere. I really do believe that SC4 is one. Can we go back to the other one? I do believe that SC4 is one of the, I think one of the gems of the crown jewel of downtown Port Huron. I think there's a lot of, in this area when we're looking to fill jobs and talent shortage, to have a place that teaches our kids is just really impressive. And they're doing a great job, fantastic education. So this is their second student housing, which was the old Port Huron Manor. They took that and rehabilitated that into a beautiful facility, and it has been operating for the last year or 2 years now. 2 years. Just, again, fantastic. The city owns this dilapidated parking lot right here. We actually do not have the funding to rehab it and make it, a nice parking lot and meet our current guidelines. So I was talking with Pete, and Pete said, hey, I'm sorry, Kirk. I was talking with Kirk, and Kirk and I were walking by. He goes, if you give us that parking lot, we'll rehabilitate it for you with money. They have access to more state dollars and more funding. So it's nice for our area, and we'll allow you to keep it using it as public parking. And I said, so let me get this straight. You're gonna take my unfunded liability, you're gonna rehabilitate it on your dime, and then you're gonna allow the public to continue to use it for free. He goes, yeah. And I go, you gonna put that in writing? So we did. So we have the MOU here, and this MOU is derived from literally Kurt, Pete, and I, and his team walking around the city saying, how can we make things better together? And so what they'll do is they will maintain free public parking for as long as we keep all of our parking lots free downtown. So the East Quay, the West Quay, very similar lots. So if we decide to start gating lots one day, which I have no plan for that, you'll send me emails, they can do the same thing. So this is essentially allowing them to bring funding to rehabilitate that park. Road builds up there. Blue Water View Condos is up for sale. They have interested people who want to buy the condos and finish off that project with the second tower, maybe some mixed use behind it. We're going to need that parking lot. So we cannot afford to lose public parking. So we're not losing public parking. Also in the MOU is Fort Street right here.